Hey, what's up YouTube? I recently had a question from Brian's. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, so forgive me if I'm not. That basically said, what do your reps look like when you're doing your pull-ups? You're doing 100 per day, are you doing a certain amount per day or per, set or whatever? And my short answer is it can go anywhere from 1 to 7 per set. And by that, I just mean I try to keep it as low as possible so that I can make sure that I am able to do all of my reps for the entire day. Because remember, my goal is not to necessarily do, five sets of, 20 or whatever. My goal is to do 100 per day. So you need to remember, okay, this is my goal. My goal is X per period of time, and whatever I can do to meet that goal, I'm gonna do. So in my case, most of the time I'm doing minimal sets of 2 or 3 pull-ups per set. And sometimes, if it's like a rough hour or I'm kind of sore or whatever, I'll usually kind of give myself a little bit of extra time, and maybe I'll just do 1 for that whole hour. And then I'll come back for the next hour and I'll go right back to normal because maybe my body's had a little bit more time to rest and recoup. And so I'm able to do a whole lot more. So I would, in short, I would much rather do, 100 per day, or, let's just say 700 per week for this month, as opposed to doing, 200 per week because I went super crazy, really hard on Monday, and then I was so exhausted that I didn't want to do, or my muscles were just so sore or torn that I didn't want to do anymore. I did very few compared to what I normally could have done, all the way up until maybe Thursday or Friday, and then I was able to do more. So and then I was sore again. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're spacing those workouts out when you're doing so much volume. It's kind of an abnormal amount that I'm doing right now, and so that's kind of why I structure it this way. But it's also really exciting because lately, the last couple of days, I've actually been sort of tweaking it a bit, and so I've been doing roughly about 50 in the morning and then 50 in the evening, usually either before jiu-jitsu or after jiu-jitsu. Typically it's been kind of after because I'm already kind of warmed up and all that kind of stuff, sweaty a little bit as I come home. But what that looks like is I do 1, and then I'll do 10 seconds or 15 seconds of rest in between each pull-up. And so that way I am constantly moving. I mean, it sounds like, oh, 15 seconds is a lot of time. It's not a lot of time when you're doing 50 in a row and you're talking about pull-ups. Pull-ups, it's a hard workout. It's very stressful on your lats, on your rotator cuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. So I hope that answers your question, Brian's. Thank you so much again for that question. And please, guys, if there's any other questions that you guys have for me, please don't hesitate to ask. So thank you guys so much.